Hello, World Tank Blitzers. It's a Littlefinger. Happy July 23rd. Welcome to the weekend. And yes, time for another store review. By the time this video goes live, Crypto's code will be active. Your chance to get the VK16801P. You have to win 14 battles per day for this 2-week event with premium time. You get 3 rotors for a win with premium and only 1 rotor if you don't have premium. So yeah, that's going to be almost 45 wins per day if you don't have premium time. So if you want that tank, you're going to have to grind it a good bit by getting wins, but make sure you're carrying that premium time. So let's jump into the store. Carryover from Bastille Day. Still got a lot of French tanks and a new crate tank to talk about here in a second. Gold. Still 2 times the amount of gold per what you normally spend. So we're talking 700 gold per dollar here versus the usual 350. So quite honestly, if you're looking to invest and buy anything in the store, your best route here is to purchase gold at twice the value that you normally get, and then buy whatever you need with gold here in the store. So let's talk M4 FL10. One of the first active auto reloading tanks to hit the game. So you've got a really fun tank to drive here. It's got good mobility, and the fact that it's got that active reload system, and the time between shells is like 1 second. So you can pump off 3 shells really quickly with this tank here. It's really fun to drive, and I think, quite honestly, one of the best tank values in the store right now, because you're going to get 14 days of premium, which will help carry you for the next 2 weeks, 10 5X boosters, and a Britannia Panther crate, which I've seen a lot of people get with just a few crates. So you may be lucky there as well and pull a second tank. But again, I think that's only got a 5% drop chance. I'm not 100% sure on the Britannia Panther drop chance, 5%. So I think this is one of the best deals in the store right now. All out attack and a strong push. We're just going to pass on. We're not going to spend any gold for boosters. It's just not a good deal. Samoa SM containers. This is a new French heavy tank in line with the Lorraine and the AMX 5100. Give me 1 second here and minimize that and pull up blitzstars.com just so you can take a quick look here at the stats on the Samoa SM. It's going to be a little bit lower on damage per minute than the Lorraine, the AMX, and I've also pulled up the Tiger 2 and the 112 Glacial, which I feel are, 2 very good tier 8 heavy tanks just for comparison. So 232 Pen is going to be the top of the class. 310 Alpha is really nice as well, considering you've got 3 shell autoloader, so in 6 seconds you can drop 900 damage. 100mm gun, nice shell velocity here. Aim time's a little bit worse than the AMX 5100, but what I do like about this is 10 degrees of gun depression, especially with a tank with some nice armor, which we'll get to here in a second. The downside, 40 kilometers per hour. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit faster than the Tiger and Glacial, but nowhere near as mobile as these other auto-loading tanks. And I feel like that's something that's important with an auto-loader, because you need to be able to hide when you're going through that really long reload period. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays on the battlefield. But what I wanted to point out here is turret armor at 200 on the front and 155 on the hull. Look what that does to the AMX and the Lorraine. I mean, it just blows them away. Not as good as the Tiger and Glacial, but pretty darn close here when you look at the hull on that tank. So it should be an interesting tank. Let me pull back up. And so 4% drop chance. I'm going to go ahead and I've got a good bit of gold sitting in the store, so I'm going to buy this a little bit later. The downside that I see here is it does come with charms, so 25 is the max crates that you'll have to buy, but there's no good combination here to get you to 25. You know, you had to do this, you end up with 29, and spend more gold than you need. And if you do these two here, you're only ending up with 22, which then means you're gonna have to maybe buy this one several times. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. I might just purchase the small one here and see how it goes after I finish the rest of this review. So yeah, we talked about these last week here. 25,000 gold. That's quite a bit of gold, but keep in mind, um, you know, that is, you know, just shy of 50 bucks. You're still going to be ending up with 10,000 gold left over if you drop 50 bucks, and you're getting a tier 8 CDC, you're getting the tier 9 prototype and the type 10 AMX 30B. I will say that the AMX 30B is not the best tier 10 medium out there. Obviously, it does have a nice credit coefficient. I think the best tank of them all is the prototype, because it's built to play against tier 10s, but it also faces tier 8s. And hold down, the tank does ricochet quite a bit off this rounded turret. And then you're going to get 15 Britannia Panther containers there. There's a high likelihood of getting a tier 7 tank, which I'm not a big fan of that Panther, to be honest with you. It's just okay. So large caliber Frenchman here. I like this deal here because you're getting a nice heavy tank and you're getting a really fun medium tank in the Rev that has a big derpy gun on it. So I would recommend the Frenchman over this three here. We've got the French drummers, AMX 1357, which I am not a fan of. If you want, check out my review of it, and the Lorraine 40 ton. Good price, 5 crates also. But the AMX 1357 is a very difficult tank to play because you've got a 6 shell auto loader, and you've got to be on target for 5 seconds to maximize getting off all of those shots. And that is pretty rare that you find a target that's just going to sit there for 5 seconds and let you shoot it, plus your aim time. So it's more of a hunt, unload, and runaway type of tank. And then even with that, you know, to get 6 shells off, you know, you either have to slow down or you have to be able to shoot backwards. So again, difficult tank to play. I do like the Lorraine 40 ton, and not a bad deal for both of those. But still, if I had to choose, I would probably go with the M4 and the Rev here over those two, just because I'm not a huge fan of that light tank. Individually, you can buy these tanks. Again, the prototype I feel is a better tank tier for tier than the AMX 30B. Moving on down here, you know, I've talked a little bit about each of these. You can get more in my last week's video. And again, you can get the AMX 1357 here for 5,000 gold by itself. And again, this is a very rare tank. I don't think I've ever noticed it for sale before, which is why I picked it up and did the review on it. But still think it's a tough tank to play. Again, we're going to move past the massive breakthrough. Don't agree really with buying boosters. If you want to buy your premium time, you're better off getting 30 days for 2,000 gold. Camo containers for gold. If anything, guys, get yourself some splinters. I showed yesterday in the 8.1 video that you can do so by selling. Let me just go ahead and do it. We go over here and go to the bottom of appearance here. I can exchange these for splinters. That's about the only thing in store. This was one of the camos that I got from doing that. I can exchange that for splinters. But most other ones, you can't exchange just yet. So there we go. Back on down to where we were. Seasonal coins. Nice Eagle 7 here if you've built up enough. It's a great way. And 30 gold certificates here. Nice way to spend those hard-earned season coins there for playing in tournaments. So yeah, now let's look at the bundles. And again, most everything in here is not going to be as good of a deal because gold is still for sale for 2 times what it normally is. The subscription resource, while usually it's a great deal, you're going to get 3,000 gold here for $5, which is 600 gold per dollar. Add on 50,000 free XP and a few 5x boosters. The downside to this, guys, is you have to log in every day, okay, to claim it. You don't just automatically get it. You have to claim it each and every day, which is fine for a player like me that checks in every day and plays a few battles. But for those of you that, you know, put the game down for a week at a time, you're going to miss out here, so don't purchase that. Victor's Might, again, this normally would be a pretty nice little deal here, just because, you know, you're getting a fairly good exchange rate, way more than 350 per dollar, but definitely not more than you could get for spending just straight up gold. So again, I would recommend passing on those. Again, while the AMX M4 tier 10 is a decent tank, not great tank, I don't believe that it's worth gambling for crates. There's no, oh yeah, there's 25 charms, so you at least know what you're getting yourself into, but it's still rather expensive for the number of charms that you're getting here. The Fury, fun little tank, gimmicky in the sense, you know, that it's based on the model from the movie, but at least you're getting 30 days premium time here for $10, and a fun tank indeed. Iron and Ice, we see this every week. 2 new lower tier tanks for $3 that you can sell here for about $14.50 in gold. So even if you buy them, don't like them, you sell them, at least you haven't lost a lot of money in that regard. So and if you're a collector like me and you need those, then go ahead and pick them up on the cheap, obviously. We still have the TS5 containers. I have not seen very many of these tanks in the game. I don't think these have sold very well. So I would expect this tank to come back to the store sooner than later for gold. So just hold off on that and wait for it to come back. And geez, look at this, $100. That's insane, guys. Just insane. You're not even guaranteed of getting the tank, and you're dropping $100. You still need 25 charms with a 5% drop chance. You will get the Britannia Panther, but Jesus, if I paid $100 for that Britannia Panther, I'd be pissed. Anyway, we move on. That is the nature of containers, right? And the last one here is this combo with the T55A and the KpfPz 70. What I like about it is whenever you get a bundle with 2 different tanks, you obviously got a heavy tank with a really big gun, and then a nice medium tank to offset that. So you get 2 different play styles, $25. It's 17,000-ish gold. So that's 8,500 gold per each for a tier 9 premium tank. It's an average deal. It's not a great deal. But you know, I do like the tier 9 tanks. There's not as many of them as far as the premiums go. You're obviously getting a nice what am I trying to say? Credit coefficient on them. And, you know, they're both decent tanks, but I would not spend them individually. All right, so I did say that we would go back and try our luck here on the Samoa containers. So why not? Let's go ahead and purchase this one and see if we're super, super lucky. All right. Certificates for 1 hour and free XP. Be nice if there was some gold in these, but it doesn't appear that there's going to be. So this is straight up gambling for the tank itself, really. Yeah, so not much in the way there of really good earnings potential from outside of not getting the tank. All right, guys. So that is it for the store review. Have a great weekend, and remember, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.